Hey, what's up, family? It's Nick, also known as the Progressive Martial Artist on YouTube. I got some stories to tell because obviously a lot of my friends um, that follow my timeline, they see that what has been going on. And I was at the KC protest, so you guys saw the activities I was a part of. So I'm gonna get into that very soon. The most important thing I kind of want to say up front is I really appreciate the support I receive from all the friends I have on all my mutuals, all of my friends on Rose Twitter. Not only because the solidarity that I was shown during the KC protest, it also because I personally been going through some family tragedy right now, and I have a lot of great friends. Actually, I just call them family because that's really what they are. They're family to me now. That reached out to me and gave me good words. And my plan is to stay strong with my family. Obviously I want to keep some things private, but um, at the same time, I'm very appreciative for everyone who reached out to me during this time. And that kind of laid, and we can start there because obviously I was at the Kansas City protest on Saturday. We had it started at 5 o'clock in the plaza. I was there pretty early. I remember because of the tragedy I was in, I was driving out of the hospital a little bit later, and I honestly didn't want to go because I was kind of torn up because of the tragedy I was in, but at the same time, I felt this strong sense of outrage, and because I was blessed with the kind of following I have on Twitter, and I take pride in being a citizen journalist to the extent in which I am, right? I kind of felt like I was obligated. I had to go down there because I can't just because I talk a lot of shit on uh, police brutality in the fascist state. So I don't have this YouTube channel to be trying to be fake with you guys. So I'm gonna be real. I did feel an obligation to go down there because I want to report what you guys see on the ground because now is not the time to trust corporate media. Now is the time to spread word of mouth. Citizen journalism needs to peak right now, and you're seeing it now. We're seeing all the citizen journalists. If you uploading a video on Twitter, if you're sharing your story, you're doing the same thing I'm doing right now. You're a citizen journalist, and that's what we need. And that's something that I really push out to people, right? So when I was at the protest, I was really warned by the United Proletariat. There was a united working class. um, it was Kansas City as it is already an extremely diverse city. Um, about 3 times more of the black population than the national average. A very prominent Latino population as well. So it shouldn't be too surprising, but it's still great to see when we in Kansas City, you see people of different classes, of different races, and there was a level of camaraderie there that was extremely touching. And like I said, I told you guys, I feel obligated. I feel like I was obligated to go down there, but at the same time, when I got down there, I felt blessed. I felt blessed I was there because I like strangers talking to each other. I was having a lot of good talks with people. um, it was just great to see the fact that everyone coming together. Cause I see it on Twitter and I post on Twitter all the time. I'm like, man, I think this is the turning point because you see people in different countries in Berlin protesting with us. There was a few more on Twitter. I wish I remember it. I really do. But when I saw that massive show of solidarity, I think this really is a turning point. I really think it is. Because and I know what the first your reaction may be. You may be like, "Well, what's the difference between this and any other one?" Well, my reaction to that is, what if the culmination of every protest, every hashtag, every Black Lives Matter protest, every police violence shooting, every person we see murdered by a cop, every time we've seen someone get away with being murdered by a cop, every time we've seen someone manhandled by the police and nothing ever happened, what if this is the culmination of all of that? So instead of saying what makes this one different than the other protests, you should say, "Hey, this protest is everything added up." And I think that's what this is, because when I was at the protest, we was chanting George Floyd's name, but there were signs with a lot of other victims of police brutality, and then there was a lot of people that were trying to debate us in the street, and they was getting crushed because we had mountains of evidence, and that was giant about this new age of citizen journalism, because for decades it was the black community and maybe the Latino. I can only speak for what I know though, but it was the black community who we had to use poetry, songs, um, rap music, entertainment. We had to use other avenues to get our stories of police brutality out there, and you had the upper class white people and even working class white people who didn't believe us. I think I still remember that as a child growing up in the '90s and in the early 2000s, the level of skepticism that was around that. I mean, obviously, I think Rodney King incident in the '90s helped, but um, before there was only rumors and the people who lived the experience sharing their stories. Now, what you see is people with their phones out, white allies as well, Hispanic allies, Asian allies, and it's heartwarming to see it. You see it when I was at the KC protest, right? And when the good thing about the protest is it's a show of solidarity. It's a massive display of anti-establishment feeling, but it also one thing that I really, really had to talk about, because I know a lot of people were waiting for to hear about, because y'all, a lot of people that saw on my Twitter saw that I was tear gassed and there was a lot of drama going on at the KC protest. And let me say this on the record, it was the police that was escalating all the everything you seen was police escalated. And I was telling people on Twitter, I was like, the reason why I was tear gassed, because I ran a few times because I saw it coming. But I remember we were just with the crowd, we were doing our normal thing, and then tear gas was out. Is I didn't see anything that prompted the police to act that way. We were just doing our normal chants, exercising our First Amendment rights. And I think cops just got agitated because Kansas City, like many other cities that are protesting, to be clear, is a city full of shit talkers. So we were really good. I remember we was marching through the streets, and there was this short white lady police cop, and I was staying with this other lady. It was awesome. She actually had a Bernie shirt like I have on right now. So she was a real ally. So, and then she was giving it to this police. Oh my God, man. Like, she was vicious. She was like, man, I can't even repeat anything. I can't even repeat anything she said, but it was like a verbal berating of facts, honestly, too, at this lady for like 5 minutes. And then, cause we was marching, they was marching along with us. And then I remember, and then the other officer, she was getting mad, and the other officer had kind of tell her to calm down, cause she started getting in each other's face. So Kansas City is a city of shit talkers, but the problem is the tear gas being deployed, and there was a pattern because they were deploying tear gas. It was macing people without any show from what I seen to get for them to be getting maced, and then people get outraged just for good reason, because that's state violence. State violence is bullshit. And there was water thrown. I had pictures I put on Twitter of all the things that was thrown at the police. But just know, we were throwing stuff at the police because the way they were treating us. It was they would act, and then the crowd would respond, and then the police would use the crowd response as a reason to escalate even further, right? And that's exactly what happened in the protest. And one part that got viral, and I can use this as a great example, was when the Kansas City police were caught tear gassing children because they ran. There was a big protest on the other side of the street, and then the following on the other side where the other police barricading their side where a much smaller protest was taking place. They started walking over there, and I was looking at the videos. I was hoping I was in there because I remember I was over there as well, and I saw them coming. I was like, "Hey, Bacon and Pow." I heard someone, I saw someone say that, and I was like, oh, I like that. I'm gonna steal that. So I was like Bacon Inbound, and everyone was like, yo, what are they doing? And then they just start launching tear gas near the fountain, and that's when I made one of my tweets that went pretty viral, that did pretty well, where I was explaining that because of what they did, there was a fire that started in the grass, and a ton of protesters. Not me, I wasn't one of the people that did that, but there was a lot of protesters that ran out and took out the fire. And then at that point, we was livid because a lot of the protesters, we was like, "Hey, yo, we putting out fires. The cops are destroying their own communities. They're supposed to protect." And that made us really, really upset. And that's the tweet that went viral on the trending tab, where when someone's shown when they tear gassed the fountain where the kids were standing at. So it was constantly the police escalating this situation, and only thing I can do is share what I seen on the ground. And you see it from the Kansas City protest people that upload the videos. I try to upload the pictures that I have, but I just have a shitty Android, man. I don't have any equipment, which is why I'm hoping to get some support on the this channel so I can get some equipment. But I just got a shitty ass phone. I was taking the pictures I had, and I wish I could get some more videos. Like if I had a chance to get some videos, I 100% would have. That's something that I will be able to do once the channel grows, to be honest. Um, but if you hear what I'm saying, if you don't believe me, I don't care, because we need to do compound this evidence, and a personal testimony like this is very important. And once again, this is why I also said I feel like I was obligated to go this Saturday, because I've been blessed with this platform, even as small it is on YouTube. I'm very blessed with the because I hit 25,000 followers on Twitter, and it means a lot. Just I didn't get in it to be well known. That never was my intention. But I am very, very happy that I can spread my word, and what my thoughts are out there in my experience, because that's what my channel. That's why I launched in the first place. That's why I went to South Carolina in the first place, because I wanted to do real citizen journalism on how they're living, and what could earn their vote. And that's what I want to do for this protest and this riot. So I'm gonna shamelessly just plug here. I'm gonna put PayPal information. I'm gonna set with Patreon a little bit later. But if I can have any support on doing some citizen journalism, that'd be greatly appreciated. But at the same time, we are in an economic recession, so I don't want to ask any money for people who don't have it. But I do want the channel to grow, and I do want to be able to report more on a citizen journalist aspect, because I don't think a lot of people realize COVID really derailed a lot of my plans when I was trying. You guys saw I was traveling state to state, canvassing for Bernie. So I had a lot of other plans. I had plans up for people I knew on Twitter. I was going to canvass with them, but man, I was gonna shoot videos about that as well. But I digress anyway. This is kind of what I want my channel to be like. So I'm very happy that I'm able to share my testimony when I seen in the Kansas City protest, because that's exactly what I'm here to do. And I thank you guys for listening to the story, and please share it with anyone who might be interested in staying in solidarity with us in the protest.